Are you attracting the right customers for your landscape photography business? Leads and customers are important for any business, but just counting the number of leads or email subscribers is not the best strategy. You actually need quality leads, and in this video I talk about 5 methods you can use to attract relevant leads that you can turn into customers. The biggest problem for landscape photographers when they try to sell their work is that they market in the wrong channels. And typically photographers tend to hang out on photography sites and in photography groups and forums on Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube. And most of the audience on these platforms are photographers, and of course rarely photographers will buy your prints. So if prints is your core offer, it's probably not the best place to market your work. Often if you have set up a website portfolio, it doesn't get enough traffic. People don't find you. So what do? You must know your audience well and target them with the right marketing tactics and in the right marketing channels. The first channel where photographers tend to market their work or offers is in social media. And of course social media is popular channels for any photographer, but the problem with social media is that it's difficult to target the right audience. You cannot control who you are attracting. And people on social media are there mostly to see what friends and families are up to. So they don't want to be disturbed. Another problem with Facebook and Instagram is that these 2 platforms really don't want you to show your post. So instead they want you to pay for them to show your work or post on the platforms. It's no longer easy to build up as an influencer on these platforms. It's too much competition, and it's always easier to build influence when you are early on the platform. But as they matures, it gets even more and more difficult. And also on social media, it's a hustle, and you have to post several times a day because your posts are disappearing quite quickly down in the stream. And furthermore, another problem if you are doing a business is that it's not easy. It's very difficult to sell on social media because, as I said, they are there to see what friends and family are up to, and they don't like to be disturbed, and even less like to be sold to on when you're on these platforms. Another thing with social media is that it's difficult to collect email addresses because adding links are difficult. You can create links on Facebook, but as Facebook hardly show your post anymore, it's very difficult to get a lot of traction there. YouTube as a platform is different because it's a search engine. People come there to get help. They have a problem, so they are searching on YouTube to get answer to some of their questions. So if you post specific video that solves someone's problem or the viewer's problem, then they will find your video. But of course YouTube, the challenge on YouTube compared to the other platforms is that creating video takes more time, and it's more challenging than just snapping and posting quick videos or photos on Instagram and Facebook. And it scares many, and it takes a lot of time, but actually when you know how to create videos, it doesn't take that much time. The fact that it takes time to create video is actually a competitive advantage, because most photographers, they take the easy way. They just don't go on YouTube because of the video production. And if you decide to go on YouTube and go a little longer way, do more work, it pay off later. Another thing is that YouTube, opposite to Facebook and Instagram, YouTube want to show your videos, because the more videos YouTube shows, the more they make from ads. And so their business model is different. Another advantage with YouTube is that you can add as many links as you like in the description and in the about section of your channel. And so on YouTube you can link to your newsletter or even to your website, and if you have affiliate links you can add them as well in the description. So it's actually possible to make money without having a huge following on YouTube. I made another video about where I explain more about the advantages of using YouTube to build your photography business, and you can find the video up here somewhere. The third method to drive traffic to your offers is to have your own website. And having a website is a must if you're running a business. Your website is the hub to where you attract your audience to, and from everywhere else you are present. So ideally you drive traffic from both your social channels like Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. And if print sale is your business model, of course, it's obvious that you need to have a portfolio on your website. The problem if you only build a website with a portfolio is that it's not likely it gets found, because images they are indexed by Google, so they are searchable, but it's not so much likely that it will be hit as if you are blogging and making more text. So at least you should add some text to your photos. So to give Google something to search for or index. So this is an important reason why you should have a blog as well, in addition to your portfolio on your website. And so the biggest advantage with a website is the search traffic you can attract with blogging, and you can also make money from Google ads on your blog, selling ads. But of course, to do that, to get a decent amount of money, you need to have a lot of traffic. Your website is also where you host your newsletter. You have several options to create lead magnets and on the website where people can opt in and subscribe to your newsletter. And you can add these opt-in forms in the blogs or anywhere on your website. But the overall goal with a website is to capture all the traffic that hits all the visitors that comes to your website. Because it's a fact that most visitors come there and they just leave and never come back again. So if you can stop them and get their email address, you have chances to reach out to them later. The fourth method of attracting leads and customers is by using referrals. And you might, if you like blogging or you like writing, you might do guest posting and post for other websites. So some blogs are some blogs' business model is to produce a lot of articles, several articles per day. So they are always requesting more information and more articles or more blogs to post. In reality, it's quite easy to get accepted if your article and photos have relatively good quality. So there is a high demand for guest blog posts. And as a guest blogger, you get eyeballs on other blogs' audiences, and that can open for possibilities for you. But when you guest blog, it's important that you have a link to your website from the article. And most blogs that are accepting guest posts allow for this. You can add your own email address or web address on the blog post. Podcasts are also another option to get free traffic. And podcasting has become popular among photographers, and even photography is a visual art. As a guest on a podcast, you are reaching out to a totally different audience. And on most podcasts, you're allowed to give the audience your address and web presence so they can find you later. But no matter if you are guest blogging or you are appearing in a podcast, you must pick the source carefully, because if their audience is not in your target audience, then you might not get much value out of such an appearance. The fifth method to bring in leads into your business is by using advertisement. And every photographer knows that Facebook wants you to buy their ads to show your work or photos on Facebook. And the fastest way to get leads and customers is to buy ads. But a few years ago, Facebook was photographers' favorite, and they built a lot of followers on Facebook. But many of these same photographers got hit hard by Facebook when they changed the algorithm a few years back. So now many photographers don't trust Facebook anymore, and they are reluctant to spend their money on ads. But the advantage with ads is that you can target the right audience. You can be very specific to who you want Facebook to show your ads to. So it can be your target audience if you know who they are. But it's also, with ads, it's easy to burn money if you don't know what you're doing and know how to use Facebook ads. So it might not be for new businesses. Then for a new business, it might be better to grow organically to begin with. But when done right, Facebook ads works very well, and you can quickly attract a lot of audiences and customers. If you have a good product and a well-defined target audience, you can make money quickly with Facebook ads. As you can tell, there are numerous ways you can attract an audience on the internet. But unfortunately, many landscape photographers don't take advantage of the opportunities. If they already have a significant following on social media, it's easy to think that this is going to grow and that this is their main source of potential leads. But it's a risky business, because Facebook or Instagram or anyone can decide to take away your audience like any day. But you need to find ways to attract leads and customers continuously. And the most effective way to market and sell your products and services is via email. And every photographer running a business must have an email list. So go watch this video next to see how you can build a targeted email list from scratch and avoid the biggest email list building mistakes. And until next week, ha det bra, goodbye.